सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम We'll just chant these verses. रूपं दृश्यं लोचनं दृक् तद्दृश्यं दृक्तुमानसम् दृश्याधिवृत्तयः साक्षी दृगेव न तु दृश्यते। नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्म ह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येत् लोचनम् अनेकधा श्लोचनम् एकधा। आन्द्यमान्द्यपटुत्वेषु नेत्रधर्मेषु चैकधा। संकल्पयेन्मनश्श्रोत्र त्वगाधौ योज्यतामिदम्। काम संकल्प संदेहौ श्रद्धा श्रद्धे धृतीतरे रीर्धीर्भीरित्येवमादीन् भासयत्येकधा चितिः नोदेति नास्तमेत्येषा न वृद्धिं याति न क्षयम् स्वयं विभाति अथान्यानि भासयेत् साधनं विना चिच्छायावेशतो बुद्धौ भानं धीस्तु द्विधा स्थिता एकाहंकृतिरन्या स्यात् अंतःकरणरूपिणी Yesterday we saw though aham is singular, it is actually plural. That aham is consciousness, but in that I sense, it's not only consciousness, but there is a body-mind complex also. Consciousness is chit, body, mind, etc. are jadas. So there is a mixture. Jada means inert. There is a mixture of inert and conscious thing. And they call it as Chit Jada Granthihi. Why I am mentioning is because in Mundaka Upanishad also it will come. Vidyate Radaya Granthihi Chidyante Sarva Samshaya. Granthi means knot. Knot ties two things so tight together. Somehow these two things which are not tieable, sentient and consciousness cannot be tied to inert, gets tied up. That granthi is ahankara. Now, since this jada, upadhi, body-mind complex is inert, is limited, and that is taken as I, and if this person is given upadesha, hey, you are Brahman Muktaha, there will be virodha, non-acceptance. Because I cannot be limitless. I am already limited. That is the feeling. That feeling is caused because of identification. So therefore, first we need to do shodhanam, remove the jada amsha. We remove cognitively the plurality of I, and then that Sakshi is told, hey, you are Brahman. Then the knowledge takes place. That is why you might have heard this Vakya, Neti Neti Vachanaihi Nigama this Avochate. Shastra tell this, not this, not this, not this, etc. That Neti part is to remove Jada Amsha. And then there is a revelation to that bare eye that you are not simply self-revealing, self-existence consciousness, but you are nirvikari and non-dual. You don't have any kind of modification in the consciousness, and it is same, one and the only one available, that is you. That is the Upadesha. And that Upadesha he said in the 5th verse, Na udeti, na astameti, na vruddhim yati, na kshayam yati. So he is negating those Shad Vikaras, the sixfold modifications which are generally attributed to body. Body comes into being, asti, jayate, it is born, having born, vardhate, it grows, viparinamate, there is a maturation, then apakshayate, decays, and one day dies. The cycle, it goes. Different modifications takes place in this body. Consciousness not being this body, said, none of the vikaras belong to consciousness. Na udeti, na astameti, na vruddhim yati, na kshayam yati. What is its nature? What is that sakshi? Last point we saw, swayam vibhati. It shines by itself. Shining is revealing. Revealing means I know myself without an aid of any agency, without requiring any means of knowledge. To know a color, to know a form, at least you require two things. You require a light, external source of light, sun or fire or electricity, and even if it is there, you don't see. Only when you operate the eyes, then you see. The vastu is, because it has to be, therefore we say the word illumined by the respective sense organ. Just as the light illumines the objects, reveals the objects, but that is not the ultimate revelation. Light may be revealing an object, unless and until my eyes see, till then it is non-existent for me. It becomes existence for me only when I see through, I know through my senses. Like even another example I can give you, right here all the TV channel signals are available. But the video frequency and audio frequency is such that we think it is not there. It becomes there. It is only when I see. Therefore we say illumination. Illumination, revelation is in the sense of knowledge. Please understand. When we say there is a revelation, the revelations talked by different religion, God revealed, there was revelation of God is different, and our God's revelation is different. I told you yesterday, though we also say mantras are revealed, but they are not, revelation is not just a set of belief, do's and don'ts, something is there hereafter, but what is revealed is knowledge. That knowledge which one cannot comprehend by oneself, that is revealed. So, when it is a swayam vibhati, to know that the consciousness is, to know this flower is, that it is orange color, I need chakshu vyapara, operation of my eyes. I have to use the eyes. Similarly, to know the words that I am speaking, karana vyapara is necessary, and not simply karana vyapara backed by mind. Usage of the sense of hearing, ears, and it has to be backed by the mind. To know the consciousness, you don't require anything. Even a deaf person knows, I am. Even a blind person knows, I am. That self is swayam vibhati atha anyan bhasayati. Not only you know it by yourself, but it is the light ultimately, because of whom mind can know all the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, and it is that light or that consciousness or that knowledge, principle if I use the word, because of which eyes can objectify, know forms and colors, ear can objectify or know sound, etc. Ultimately it is due to consciousness. Like even yesterday I gave an example, It is because of the heat of the fire, the pot is hot. And it is because of the same heat of the fire, water inside the pot is hot. The heat in the water doesn't belong to water itself. The heat of the pot also doesn't belong to itself, but heat of the fire belongs to itself. It is the knowledge. Just to connect. Therefore, there is a mantra, some of you might have studied, Kenopanishad from Vijayji. Atma is talked about as Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyat Vachoha Vacham Sau Pranasya Prana. It is ear of the ear, nose of the nose, eye of the eye, mind of the mind. That doesn't mean there is one eye inside, which is this eye. It doesn't mean there is one ear inside. I can give a modern example. The refrigerator keeps the things cool. Your oven makes the thing hot. This bulb throws some light, and the air conditioner keeps the thing cold. We say, but air condition by itself doesn't do. The tube light, this is Indian. Indians always like white light, I can make out this Indian home. Westerner always have yellow color. This tube light emits light. We say, but it is not tube light. Tube light can emit light only when backed by electricity. Refrigerator can cool only when backed by electricity. The oven can heat only when backed by electricity. So, you may say, it is a light of the light, it is the oven of the oven, it is the refrigerator of refrigerator. In Gujarati, it becomes easy to teach. I tell you the reason. There is a word, though we all call it a tube light, these technicians, electricians who come to repair small things, they are available in India. You don't need to call a company. They are self-employed, people. In India, certain jobs are self-employed. Carpenter, electricians, plumber. They have some fixed client, you call him. So he will come. And he checks the tube light. And if there are two problems, either the connection problem or with the tube light itself. When there is a connection problem, then he will say, the wires have been loose, chheda chuti gaya. The wires are not connected. And the problem with the tube light is a typical word, dhoko udi gyo. It called them dhoka. So tube light gets a new name, dhoka. It is dhoka. Because by itself it doesn't emit light. Otherwise, at evening you need not carry torch, you carry tube light. Tube light can emit light only when backed by electricity. So, electricity, listen, can do all things. Giving light is one guna. Keeping the things cold is another guna. Keeping the things, making the things hot is another quality. Oven. Air conditioner, keeping the atmosphere cold is another quality. The room heater is another quality. Why? Because electricity has no quality. Electricity is in a way nirguna. Suppose, just think of this. Somebody, an aborigine in Africa, comes in, my God, so much. He has never imagined that can be light at night. It's so illumined. And then he opens a cupboard, white cupboard, it is so cold, refrigerator. He thinks it is so cold. He asks, hey, what makes all this? You try to explain, it is because of electricity. then he will have a big question. What is electricity? He can't think. Is it yellow or red, black or white, short or tall, big or small? Nothing. You keep explaining, doesn't understand. I want to know it directly. You are talking in abstractions. Saying, I want direct experience. Put 2 fingers, you will have. There is no way out. I'll give you direct experience. Since electricity is nirgunam, it can assume all gunas. So also the consciousness is shrotrasya shrotram, manaso manaha, vachoha vacham, speech of the speech, ear of the ear. Doesn't mean it is speaking inside. Okay? What it means, this is called ear because this is the beauty of Sanskrit language. I told you. The verb is there in every noun. Shruyate anena iti shrotra. That by which you can hear is called shrotra. Pashyate anena iti chakshuhu. This is called eyes because you can see. When it cannot hear, it is not shrotra. That's why again in Gujarati, the typical colloquial mother has a word. When she shouts at her daughter and she doesn't listen, then she will say, this is called kan, ear. Kan hai ka kana? Do you have the ears or it's just holes? She will tell. It is holes only because she doesn't hear. They say this, kan hai ka bakora hai. They shout, angry moms. They have their own vocabulary. So, this is called ear because it hears. And the hearing capacity is ultimately because of the consciousness. This is called refrigerator. The capacity to refrigerate things is there because of electricity. So, anyan bhasayati chitihi. Not only it is self-revealing, it is self-existing, but it reveals others also. This anyan bhasayati chitihi means what? This mantra, tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati. It is because of which, so that light, everything else can illumine the thing. Illumines what? To know. It is that knowing principle which empowers as though different organs to know their respective object. Eyes are as though empowered to know the forms and colors. Ears are empowered to know the sound. It is all because of the consciousness. Of course, that means the status of being subject of the eyes, lochanam, rupam, drshyam, lochanam, drk. As I said yesterday, the status of eyes being subject is provisional. Status of ears being the knower of the sound is provisional. Though we say it's pramanam. Prama janakam pramanam. It gives rise to knowledge. But that status is provisional. Ultimately, the status of seeing or seer, being a seer of the eyes is not on its own. Like even the status of the tube light that it emits light. Light is because of tube light. It doesn't belong to itself. Eyes can see because there is a mind behind. In absence of the mind, eyes fail to comprehend the respective objects. And this fellow today came home and told to his wife, nowadays these beggars are very cheating fellows. I met today a beggar who was such a liar. I felt like giving him money and he uttered some sentence and I stopped. I withdrew my hand and I didn't give. She says, what did he say? He says, I saw him blind fellow, but then I discovered he was not blind. What happened? She said, when I came near him, he said, oh hero, give me 10 rupees. His wife says, he must be really blind. You should have given him. Calling you hero, must be blind. And so, the eyes can see when backed by the mind. And mind itself borrows knowing capacity from electricity. I can still have one modern example. Computer does the things because it borrows its capacity from the chip. But the chip and the whole desktop is activated when there is power. So ultimately, they all borrow the strength to do whatever they can do is from the power. So also anyan bhasayate. How sadhanam vina, by mere its existence. Electricity has limitations. Electricity can give strength to tubelight only when it is transmitted through wire and into certain voltage. Consciousness is like sun. It illumines everything by mere presence. It doesn't require any agency, any support system to make things conscious. All things become conscious by its mere presence. And therefore, the word illumines, it reveals, though it is a verb, but then consciousness is not doer. Though we say sun gives light and heat to the creation, to the world, but sun is not doer. Sannidhi matrena, as they say, by mere presence. That is what its nature is. And that's what Bhagavan says, just to connect you to Bhagavad Gita, Maya dakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. By my mere presence, this Maya works. It is there doing the job of creation, sustenance and dissolution. Why? It is like even any solar instrument gets as though enlivened by presence of sun. So also, by mere presence of consciousness, this physio-psycho complex becomes conscious. Senses, though inert, can act upon. Though inert, can know the things. Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichcha Shakti start functioning. Now, as I told yesterday I left a question. If consciousness is everywhere, you say, Chitti is everything. Swayam vibhati anyani bhasayet sadhanam vina. No deti na astameti, it is everywhere. How come things are inert? Then how do you say this consciousness illumines only certain things, not others? Just understand. This is called prakriya, okay? It's a methodology to explain. Don't take prakriya as ultimate thing. Why I am saying this? There is a vada, pratibimba-vada, avachcheda-vada. People make hair-splitting argument about pratibimba-vada and which is better, this or that. None of them is good or bad. Atma alone is better. The point is to explain the nature of the self. We are not interested in prakriya. Prakriyas or methodologies are the means. Ultimate is the knowledge. With this background, I'll try to explain, okay? Don't get too much into Prakriya, I'm just cautioning you. Now, this Sakshi, look at the verse, 6th verse, we'll just see the translation. Chichhaya veshato buddhau bhanam destu dvidha sthita. Okay, buddhau, in the buddhi, chichhaya aveshatau. Avesha means entry, infusion. Infusion of what? Or reflection of consciousness. Where? In buddhi. In the buddhi, which is called antahkaranam. Yesterday I told you the word mana and buddhi is often used for the antahkaranam. There is in our known terminology, if I say, there is a pratibimba of consciousness. There is a abhasa of consciousness in buddhi. And that is why these two dvidha sthita. Therefore buddhi becomes twofold. Eka ahankritihi, the one of the two aspects of the twofold. One is ahankara, I am the doer. One part as though is karta. Antahkarana rupini anya. Other one is antahkarana. That part I'll go little later. Please understand what is chichhaya. Okay? Consciousness is free from all vikaras. Na udeti na astameti. Means beyond, it is beyond the limitations of the time and the space. Also, all pervasive. Now this buddhi, this is the nature of creation. Or antahkaranam is in a way special, little. The whole creation is born out of Maya. The creative power by which the non-dual Brahman becomes many. This Maya is Trigunatmika. Consists of 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. You know this. What is this? Since Maya is subtle, not perceptible, that Maya which is the gunas being Swarupa of the Maya, that also is not perceptible. So we don't see Sattva Guna, we don't see Rajo Guna, nor we say Tamas Guna. We see the Karyam of the Gunas, effect. Now, these 3 gunas are responsible for threefold creation. Like, you see, you don't see the magic power of a magician. And that power to create a magic, we often call it Shakti. Like yesterday I gave you this. He gave water of India, one. Another magician comes and says, this fellow, one day I saw that, this magician had a really hard time. He was, the card trick they play. Assume one card or take one card and put it and then do all this and then this is your card. So out of over enthusiasm, he told one lady, come on, think of one card. I can tell what you could thought of it. She said, okay. Then he did all trick, all light and all drama baji, and said, was it the ace of spade? She said, no. Was it the jack of the heart? No. Poor fellow was so embarrassed. Out of over enthusiasm, he said, 3-4 times he said no. Finally lost. Tell me, ma'am, what did you think? Which card was in your mind? She said, my husband's credit card. I was thinking, you asked me to think of a card. You didn't qualify the card of the banker. I was thinking of my husband's credit card. Now, so suppose he shows that trick, then you can say he has a Shakti to create water. He has a Shakti, we say Maya, he has that Maya Shakti to know the card, etc. From the creation we say the creative power, Maya is threefold. Because we have Gnana Shakti, capacity to know is there. Kriya Shakti, capacity to act is there. Jada Shakti, things are inert, this threefold. Of this, the Antakaranam is primarily made out of Sattva Amsha of Panch Mahabhutas. Just to recall, Tattva Bodha, I don't know when you studied. Generally it is studied in the beginning itself. But then, just to bring back to your mind, the Sattva Amsha of each Mahabhuta. First from Maya, Trigunatmika, Panch Mahabhutas are born. And since they are Maya Karyam, each one is Trigunatmakam. The Sattvic Amsha of the Akasha, space, gives rise to Gnanendriya. Which Gnanendriya? Ears. Rajas Amsha gives rise to Karmendriya. Which Karmendriya? Speech. Why? Because to hear the sound and to create a sound, you require space. They say Mukhavakash. There is a space here. Then only you can speak. If the mouth is full, you are eating something, especially Indian Pani Puri. It is there in the mouth, and then you try to speak, it will be holy. Then the fellow will, you won't speak because there is no space to speak. The words to travel, you require space. And words to know, you require space. Karana Avakash. And of course, for words to be understood, you require space here, okay? If there is, mind is too jammed, locked up with these raga dveshas and notions and prejudices, you can't understand. Anyway, Sattvic Amsha of Akasha gives rise to Karnendriya. Sattvic Amsha of Vayu gives rise to this. And Samasti, all the five together with Sattva Amsha becomes Antakaranam. Therefore, Antakaranam can comprehend Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. All the five. Indriya can comprehend only one guna. Similarly, Samasti Rajas Amsha gives rise to Prana. And individual Rajas gives rise to each Indriya, Karmendriya. So 5 Panchamahabhutas and the Rajoguna gives rise to 5 Karmendriyas. And all of them put together, the Rajas is Prana. And all Tamas Amsa with the process called Panchikaranam gives rise to Sthula Panchamahabhuta, means inert objects. Now listen. My only point is, if you can recollect Tattvabodha, fine. Otherwise, remember this. Antakaranam or buddhi or mind is sattva karyam. And that sattva guna has capacity to as though reflect, as though condition, as though manifest the consciousness. Rajoguna and Tamoguna doesn't have that capacity to manifest the consciousness. And the manifestation of consciousness is in the form of sentiency. Thing becomes sentient because that consciousness is manifested through antakaran. Means Chaitanya as though manifest as Chetana. This Sanskrit or our vernacular words I can use. I will explain you with one example. Here is a sun. And sun rays are not separate from sun. Each sun ray is Trayatmakam. There are three gunas or three things which is sun rays. What? Light, heat and energy. There are no different rays. These are the rays of light, these are the rays of heat, and these are the rays of energy. Any sun ray consists of all the three things. Anything coming in contact with sun ray should get the heat, should get the light, and should get the energy. Now, suppose there is a piece of ore iron, just an iron piece, even a stainless steel piece. You put it, not stainless steel, you have to put it ore iron piece. Put it in sunlight. The rays fall upon it. Since every ray carries light and heat and energy, but this particular piece will manifest only predominantly the heat aspect. If you touch it, will be hot. But if you put a mirror adjacent to it, mirror has a capacity to manifest the light aspect of the sun. Understand? Please understand, there is a limitation of language. Aspect I use. It is not an aspect. It is a swarupa. The prakasha swarupa of the sun gets manifested only when the surface has a capacity to reflect. A simple piece of glass may not reflect the sun thoroughly. It may become hot. But if you paint it with silver color on one side, it gets converted into mirror. And then there is a not only hot sun, but there is a bright sun available in the mirror. Understand? Did you get this point? Yeah. So every object which is because of Sat. That which is Ishvara, that is Ishavasya. That which is Brahman, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahman. But that those is who do not have predominance of Sattva cannot manifest the sentiency of the consciousness. Therefore they are inert. As such, everything is inert. This body is also inert. It is inert. But buddhi, which is sattvamsha, sattva is responsible for gnanam, and knowledge can take place only in sentient thing, not inert. And if you put the gnanam, sattvamsha, it reflects the consciousness. Like even if in electric gadget, if you put the circuit, then it will work. Or a bulb, our traditional bulb. When there is a filament, it will manifest as a light. Just as in iron ore, there is a bright sun because it has heat. When I repeat, every ray of sun comprises of heat, light and energy. That means wherever there is heat, there is light and there is energy. But ore cannot manifest neither light nor energy. But it is there. In a leaf, green leaf, there is something by which the energy of the sun is manifested. Plants get that. which mirror cannot do. Mirror has capacity only to manifest, not reflect. Understand the word. Manifest the light of the sun, the bright sun, along with hot sun. Leaf generally cannot, totally manifest the hot sun. Just imagine, number of rays that fall on a leaf. You put the leaf and a plant, there is a plant in sunlight and adjacent there is iron ore. The leaf will not be as hot as iron ore. It has a capacity to manifest the heat more. Leaf has a capacity to manifest the energy, and the mirror has a capacity to manifest the light. So also, Antakaranam has a capacity to manifest the sentiency of the consciousness. Understand? So what is inert because of absence of Antakaranam. If you put Antakaranam in this mic, it will start talking itself. Swami, though Chawla and everybody is asking you to come, you need not come. I can take care of the class. And after all, American mic, it will announce, from next time, I'll take the fees in advance and then come. It's not Indian Swami, Those things which do not have antakaranam, they are inert. The difference of sentient and inert object is due to presence and absence of antakaranam or sukshma sarira. If an inert object is endowed with sukshma sarira, it will become sentient. That is why what this body, though inert, is sentient now. When the jiva dies, dying means jiva decides to go. When the jiva lives, he takes with antakaranam. And the moment sukshma sharira goes, this body becomes as inert as timber. Entire body. Because jiva travels with sukshma sharira. Some of you might be knowing by heart the chapter 15. Utkramandam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananu pashyanti gnana chakshushaha. How? Previous verse. Manashasthani indriyani prakrutisthani karshati gruhitva etani sanyati. Jiva takes away the whole sukshma sharira. Sukshma sharira consists of 5 gnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 5 prana and manabuddhi, 17. This means it takes. And it just doesn't take like that. Before going, it is exactly like us. When you go on a tour and then you're going to stay in some place for 3-4 days, your whole bag is open, toiletries and clothes and shaving set and some computer and plug and wire. And then if you have to go, you start packing up. Previous night you put all the things. So when you start getting this signal, that know that packing has started. Okay? Who is coming? Packing has started. The jiva starts packing. Swamiji, I can't digest thing. That means samana vayu has been packed up. Swamiji, I have knee problem and back problem, what we call it vaya. That means packing has started, prana packing. So, this is like your road sign. Just as a teacher, I am cautioning you. Be careful. You have got Vedanta, study well. Very less time is left out. And of course, that is also wishful thinking. Nobody knows. Nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane samprapte sannihite kal. This Bhagavan, Yamaraja doesn't come like American consulate, In India people talk, Swamiji, bas within a year or so I'll be off there, off to America. We had filed our papers in 1998. It was just due, but Donald Trump delayed it. And our filing was done in 1998 March. And I have come to know 1998 January, February fellows got their visa. So shortly our visa will come. Yamaraja doesn't go by that. Whom? Oh, 1952 fellows. Come on, take that. Oh, I am 78 born. Lot of time. Udhar nahi hai aisa. It is a crazy ride. Anybody can go anywhere. Anyway, coming back to this Sukshma Sharira, presence and absence of Sukshma Sharira makes one sentient and jada. This is the conscious, like the sun reflected in the mirror. You can say Pratibimbita Surya, reflected sun. So also there is a word, reflected consciousness. Now look at this. Just imagine, or let's just think, what will be the size of reflection? That depends upon the reflecting medium. If it's a small mirror, sun will be only that much. If it's a big mirror, there will be big sun. Correct? Now, this is what you have to imagine. Think of it. This obtaining sun in the mirror thinks, I am small. The sun that is there in mirror is the same that is there in the space. Correct? Not only in this mirror, the sun in adjacent mirror, which is 2 by 2 size. This is 5 by 7 size for sari. This sun, I am big sun, you are small sun. There is no guna. Sun has no guna. Whatever qualities, small or big, that appear is due to the size of the mirror. Further, to explain, another example is also given. Avachinna shabda. Avachinna means condition, limited. The sun limited by this particular reflecting mirror. So you may hear the word Antahkarana avachinna chaitanyam, Antahkarana pratibimbita chaitanya. What all it means is obtaining consciousness in the Antahkarana. To explain further, another example is given. Suppose here is a pot of iron ore, a typical still olden days, and it is a 3-liter pot, another is 10-liter pot, and you pour a clean water in both of them. Then also there will be reflection of sun. Because water has a capacity to reflect sun. Now, if this 10-liter water pot sun, and listen the sentence, 10-liter water pot sun, I said there is no 10-liter water pot. The sun obtaining in this 10-liter pot, and 2-liter pot sun obtaining in 2-liter pot, thinks I am 10-liter size, this is 2-liter size. Once the sun takes itself to be of this size, and its own size is based on the obtaining size of the water, then all the qualities of water also will become qualities of the sun. If water is shaky, sun will say, I am shaky. If water is dirty, sun will say, I am dirty. So the obtaining consciousness in antakaranam takes itself to be, I am this much, and if the mind is restless, oh Swamiji, I am restless. If the mind is full of raga, dvesha, dirt, oh Swamiji, you don't know, my thoughts are bad. I can't tell you, I am bad. I am bad. I am full of raga, dvesha. What raga? The sun is not dirty. That Manisha Panchakam, that the Chandala tells this. King Gangambhunim Bidem Ramano Chandal Vithi Paya. What is the difference in sun when it gets reflected in Ganges water? Oh, this is holy sun. Like Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. This is the holy sun. And there is a sun reflected in the gutter water, drainage water, near the butcher's house. All the filth is thrown in that water, and the sun is reflected. Being the obtaining sun in the drainage doesn't become dirty, ashuchi, apavitra. And the sun obtaining in Ganges water doesn't become pure, because sun is asangaha, not attached. Consciousness is same. Further explaining, there is another called avachedavada. This is called prakriya, methodology of pratibimba. What is avachedavada? They say the space. The space is everywhere. It is easy to, from one point of view, this example is also necessary. At least in case of sun, sun is there, main sun, and there are no other sun around. When you talk of the space, Swamiji often use this prakriya. He will, like a magician, bring out the pots. The space is everywhere. But suppose here there is a space, limitless space. But if I create a pot here, then there are two spaces as though. The space obtaining in the pot and the space outside. Correct? The limitless space is as though divided by space obtaining inside the pot and the space obtaining outside. This division is apparent, caused by the walls of the pot. Space is not divided. You cannot say, now I have a space here. Now this is 5 liter space. This is 10 liter space. In architect they use a word. I had been to a couple of leading architect school for their function, and they say, what is the job of an architect? To create the space. They say that. I said, I have to fill up this space. Nobody can create. But it's a vyavhara. Like you say, I'm not commenting any which way. Like we say sunrise. Even though we know it doesn't, but right. So they also know they don't create. What they mean to say functional space. Kitchen space, drawing room space, TV space, etc. Creating space where you can use it for that particular function. When they build the house, they create space. Kitchen space, master bedroom space, children bedroom space, dining space. It is not created. The space, listen this, the space conditioned by this set of walls is called master bedroom space. The space conditioned by another set of walls is called kitchen space. The space conditioned by other set of walls is called dining space. No condition. Space remains indivisible even though we call it division. Space remains limitless even though we refer as a limited space, that pot space. You say 5-liter pot space, 10-liter pot space, 20-liter pot space. It's the right word. Space is space. 5-liter, 10-liter, our adjectives. Now, if that 5-liter, now you must have heard Swamiji, I am not going to get into detail in this example. That 5-liter felly says, that 10-liter, because some feminine. That 5-liter space thinks I am felly, and that 7-liter is fallow. He is bullying me, he is stronger, blah, blah, blah. Inside space, the thinking that I am only 5-liter, when the space looks at itself with reference to the walls of the pot. Suppose you keep, it is a bottle, you keep this isophotada, our hing, for 1 month in the bottle, and then you remove it, there is a smell. And suppose you keep camphor in another bottle for a month, there is a space. Then you remove the camphor, then there is a smell. You cannot say this space is holy space. Camphor. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. And this is a dirty space. No. Space has not acquired any attributes. What is inside? Space doesn't. By the way, it is Vayu which carries the smell, not the space. The Vayu, Anu of the Vayu brings and then drops, therefore there is no smell further. Up to certain area you get, till the Vayu travels. Space is asangaha. Or, I can give modern example. It's very useful for Westerners. Because Indians don't use that. Even though they have. When you drive a car, you always keep looking at the mirrors, side mirrors. There is a space inside the mirror also. Correct? You see the space. And in the space you see the car coming. Before changing the lane, you estimate the space, you estimate the speed, and then change the car. The space conditioned by the mirror. And space outside not conditioned by the mirror. There is no two spaces. The word space has no plural. Spaces. There is places, not spaces. Similarly, the consciousness obtaining in antakaranam. Understand the word obtaining. These are all Shabda Maryadas. Like the sun obtaining in the mirror, like the space obtaining in the pot, thinks I am 5-liter, thinks I am only 2 by 2. Of course, mirror is 2 feet by 2 feet or 2 inch by 2 inch, whatever. I am 4 square feet only, and the mirror is dirty. Some dots are there. I am dirty. That dirtiness of that sun obtaining in a mirror, that limitations of the sun that is obtained in the mirror belong to mirror, not the sun. And if I use the known words, because of Drk Drsya Viveka Abhava. Sun doesn't see itself separate from the mirror. Identifies with the mirror, becomes one with the mirror, and sun says, I am only 4 square feet and there is a dirt in me. Whereas inside is sun, even on the side panel which is still covering is sun, outside also is sun. Sun is everywhere. You take the mirror from here to there. It is not that inside sun goes there. It is that sun only that is available there. Everywhere available sun becomes available in that mirror at all places. Take the pot at different places, the space is everywhere. It is not that this 5-liter travels. What travels? Mirror travels, not the sun. Because for the sun to travel you require space where it is not. Then only sun can travel. Bhranti, illusion is the obtaining some things I went from here to there. Similarly Jiva says, I am going to get new birth. And there are wise people telling, advising you will travel to heaven. And if you want to travel to heaven, come to us. Or you will forcefully be made to travel to hell. Like Hitler's gas chambers, you will be put there. I laugh at it. Where to travel? Which is a place where sun is not there? Where is a place where the space is not there? Very word space, place implies there is a space. Similarly, what is a thing where consciousness is not there? When you say thing, that which is consciousness. The Sat Swarupa Rupena, Sat Rupena, consciousness is everywhere. Only the manifestation is somewhere because manifesting medium, manifesting sadhanam, something maya karyam which has a capacity to manifest the sentiency of consciousness is missing. Sun is everywhere. Where there is a hot wall, there is a little. When you see this wall, touch it, it is hot, that is bright sun as well. But it is not manifested, that's all. Not manifested enough for your eyes to see. There is a energy sun. By a whole original source of Shakti is there. But it is manifested only in the plants, in those leaves. So also, whenever there is antakaranam, there is consciousness. This is Jiva. And Swamiji, how it happens? No answer. When there is no answer, it is called Maya. How it happens? But it has not happened. The sun says, if I am that big sun, how come I am small sun? You are not here. You think I am. You are not. Still keeps insisting, how come? Maya, no. Some answer. Some answer you have to give. So Maya is an ontological word. Like a child saying, how come he created a tea out of water? There was no tea. No, I drank. There was another glass. It cannot be. But still, why? Answer is Maya. Listen this. Maya is given as a cause of an effect which really is not there. But in ignorance, fellow feels it is there. To explain that cause-hunting intellect, which wants to know the cause of an effect, which is really not there, to satisfy that intellect, the word Maya is given. This space obtaining in the pot takes itself to be 5 liter, 10 liter, 7 liter, 15 liter. That is called Jivaha. The obtaining, this is Pratibimbavada, and that is Avachedavada. Obtaining sun takes a shape to be 4 square feet size and 21 square feet size and whatever. And further, this is dirty, so the water reflecting medium is dirty, so I am dirty. Reflecting medium is shaky, so sun says I am vikshiptaha, I am udvignaha. It is all because of identification with antahkarana. Now, just one step further. This mirror, which is inert by itself, because of its special capacity to reflect the light of the sun, itself becomes a source of light. Correct? It is not a source of light because of capacity. So also buddhi, which is inert, becomes sentient because of manifestation of consciousness in buddhi. Reflection of, I use the word now, pratibimba or avacheda chaitanya. Now that mirror, no mirror is a source of light unless and until it comes into contact with sun. The mirror, having come in contact with sun, is a source of light, and you can use the mirror to light up a dark space. Suppose you want some more light here in this room and there is no power connection, you can put the mirror at a proper angle and use it. Oh, there is a light. So, because that mirror comes in contact with this room at a proper angle. Similarly, antahkaranam becomes sentient, and it is a part of sukshma sharira. That antahkarana becomes sentience, it lends as though sentiency to entire sukshma sharira. Sukshma sharira means all gnanendriyas, karmendriyas, pranas become sensuous. And that sukshma sharira stays or connects with a gross body, then the gross body also becomes sentient. Whole thing becomes sentient. Okay? First, antahkaranam gains sentiency, and because of that, everything else becomes sentient, sukshma sharira, and a given sukshma sharira comes in contact with sthula sharira, that sthula sharira also become sentient. Just as if this electric wire, they don't have electricity. When they come in contact with electricity, they become conductor. And if I touch the wire here, it gets electrified. Of its own, there is no electricity. Similarly, because of buddhi, because of antahkaranam, which is gained sentiency, and he has no choice but to gain, because consciousness is everywhere. Therefore, we have to give another example of pot. There can be some place in the bushes where the sun is not there. Mirror cannot reflect the sun. You can bring the mirror inside so the sun gets lost. But you take the pot everywhere, the space will be there. Anyway, so therefore 2 examples we give. All pervasiveness of the consciousness. So wherever there is antahkaranam, there is sentiency. So wherever there is sukshma sharira, it is always everywhere, in all conditions, sentient. Because consciousness is desha, kala, vastu, paricheda, shunyam. It has no limitations of the space, it has no limitations of time, no limitations of objectivity. And so, actually, what is rebirth is only this much. That jiva takes the whole antahkaranam, sukshma shariram, and goes to new body that becomes sentient. And it is the dharma of the body that it grows slowly, maybe in a micro form, then becomes macro form. And you can add L macroform, America, L size, L extra, XL size. It becomes XL form. Prakriti has only a few XL forms. They add some milk with hormone milk and all that. So this is Prakriti XL. And this is Jiva XXL. Okay? Madhya Pradesh, the middle part. This is all Chicago area, Wisconsin area. It grows. His body becomes sentient because of Sukshma Sharira. And it has borrowed light of consciousness. Room is lightened up because of mirror. But mirror has borrowed light from sun. Why only mirror has borrowed and not the wall? Because that is how the creation is. Mirror has a peculiar surface which can manifest the light. Iron ore can manifest the heat. Heat can be manifested anywhere, everywhere. So sad amsha, I use the word amsha, but there is no amsha. Sad aspect is anywhere and everywhere. Whatever is Atma. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. But where is Sat, there is Chit. There is Ananda. Wherever there is heat, there is light and energy. Manifestation is missing. That's all. That's how the difference. So the word is Chitchaya Aveshatau Aveshataha Buddhau. Buddhi, the cognitive faculty, as I mentioned, it is called as Antakaranam. In that Antakaranam, Aveshataha, as though sun enters into mirror. Infusion of the sun takes place into mirror. Before the mirror was made, sun was there. A piece of glass was hot. The sun was there. But when it starts manifesting, apparently it is said there is an infusion of sun. There is no infusion. If you say infusion took place, that means before it was not there. If consciousness is all pervasive, where is the infusion? Where is an entry? So it's an apparent. Therefore there is a vakya, just last comment, Tat srashtva tadeva nupravishat, as though entered. There is no entering. Entering, Bhashyakara writes, even Manwala Tika writes in Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashyam, entering is like sun entering into reflecting medium. Space entering into the spot. Though we say space, obtaining space within the pot, in fact we should say obtaining pot within the space. Correct? So is a consciousness obtaining here. It is not here. Antakarana, that is obtained in the entire consciousness, which is all pervasive. That is buddhim. Therefore, buddhi, it enters into buddhi, becomes sentience. And we'll see something more in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.